Good, happy Monday evening. Is Monday, June 27, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Monday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Monday evening, so let's get started right now. First step, Sununu rejects Democrat call for special session to codify abortion rights. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi, it's Happy Car from the New Car family of dealerships. Follow me around New England.
Governor Chris Sununu is brushing aside calls from State House Democrats to request a special legislative session this summer to vote on codifying abortion rights.
It would probably signal that we need to change something, that we need to take some sort of drastic action, but we don't. We're really in a very good position here in New Hampshire that a woman's right to choose, as it was protected 2 weeks ago, is the exact same today.
Democrats contend that status quo is far more tenuous now without the backstop of the Roe v. Wade decision.
I think we could propose constitutional amendment, but more importantly, I think we need to propose legislation that enshrines basic rights to privacy and protection in our statutes.
Just last month, the House tabled legislation to codify abortion rights, and the Senate deadlocked on its own bill in a 12-12 tie vote. Republican legislative leaders have said they do not intend to pass any further restrictions on abortion beyond the 24-week ban that went into effect at the beginning of this year. But they also don't see the need for a special session.
If we were going to do something, it certainly can wait until January, but I don't even see why we would need to do anything then.
Over the last 2 decades, the number of pro-choice Republicans serving at the State House has dwindled, and bills will be filed next year to further restrict access to abortion, just as other states have done.
And it's terrifying to think that there are those in our state government who want that exact same reality for Granite Staters.
While Democrats are calling on the governor to request a special session, the governor does not have the power in New Hampshire to convene the legislature unilaterally. He would need to make the request, and then the executive council would have to approve it. Reporting live in Concord, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Boxes removed, vehicles towed in FBI search of Windham home. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Buying or selling a home is a complex process, and for many, the largest financial transaction of their lives. With so many potential pitfalls to avoid, you need a New Hampshire realtor. We guide you through unexpected challenges, such as low inventory, appraisal complications, and inspection issues. New Hampshire realtors have seen and navigated nearly every pitfall.
Marissa and Monica, all is quiet now. Investigators wrapped up this search about an hour ago. The focus of their search is this home here behind me, 5 Glenwood Road. Now, the FBI and other federal agencies arrived here earlier this morning. We also saw representatives from the IRS. The FBI is only describing this as court-authorized activity in connection with an ongoing investigation. Now, officials could be seen coming and going from the house at times, removing boxes. Neighbors who live here tell us they started noticing police activity right around 10 o'clock this morning. And tonight, they say while they're not concerned, they're left wondering what this was all about.
My husband came home a few minutes after. He goes, "Did you see all the FBI cars out there?" And I hadn't seen them, so I looked out, and it was just a flood of cars. And you saw them all in their vests and their flak jackets.
And what agencies did they look like?
FBI.
The homeowners could not be reached for comment. We did speak with the DEA today, and they tell us they are aware of this search, but they could not comment any further. Reporting live in Windham, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Prosecution witness list released for Randolph motorcycle crash trial. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi, Hi, it's Happy Car from the New Car family of dealerships. Follow me around New England.
Jen, the trial's starting in July, about 3 years after the crash in Randolph, that accident killing 7 motorcycle riders associated with the Jarheads Motorcycle Club. 26-year-old Vladimir Zukovsky of Massachusetts has pleaded not guilty to charges of neglect homicide, manslaughter, driving under the influence, and reckless conduct in connection to that crash. The state has just released the list of 104 witnesses. 62 of these people are from New Hampshire. They also come from Vermont, Maine, Pennsylvania, and Kentucky. It includes the president of the Jarheads Motorcycle Club and his wife, as well as survivors and witnesses of the crash. Also included members of both state and local police departments and fire departments and people working at forensic labs and corrections facilities. The state does have the right to amend the witness list in response to the defense's witness list and any expert reports. This trial, again starting next month, has been delayed multiple times to the frustration of members of the Jarheads Motorcycle Club. Reporting live, Grace Feinerman, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Crews work to extinguish hot spots after Albany Wildfire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Buying or selling a home is a complex process, and for many, the largest financial transaction of their lives. With so many potential pitfalls to avoid, you need a New Hampshire realtor. We guide you through unexpected challenges, such as low inventory, appraisal complications, and
Fire crews say the fire was really difficult to get to because of the conditions, and as you can see behind me, it's a really steep and rocky terrain.
Black billowing smoke.
A fire burning along a cliff in Albany Sunday night. Firefighters from Madison and Conway responded to the scene around 3:30 yesterday afternoon and remained out here today, clearing up hot spots. Dave Liberty lives right next to the area where it happened.
Unfortunately, the fire was actually up on the cliffside where they had poor access.
Fire officials say that limited access presented a challenge for fire crews trying to douse the flames.
It's an area where there's a sport climbing cliff, so there's a vertical wall and then some steep rocky terrain. The fire was burning freely up the side of that cliff and burned over the top of it onto a little knoll.
Conway Fire Chief Stephen Solomon says they're still working to determine the cause, but because this is an active fire season, there are a number of potential factors.
We had a kind of a dry spring. We actually have to talk caterpillars now. The caterpillars are defoliating the trees, dropping all that leaf litter on the ground.
Chief Solomon says there may be some areas that continue to smolder for a few days. And fire officials say no homes were damaged, there weren't any injuries, and the fire is contained. In Albany, Hannah Cotter, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. At least 3 dead, dozen more injured after Amtrak passenger train derails in Missouri. Let's take a listen to that video from KMBC News 9.
Hi, it's Happy Car from the New Car family of dealerships. Follow me around New England. We have 25 locations with over 1,700 used vehicles available right now. Don't worry, I'll do the running around. No matter where your next vehicle is located, I'll deliver from any store to your door for free. Don't forget, we buy all cars too. Any make, any model.
I'm Kelly Eckerman. We continue to cover breaking news: an Amtrak train derailment in central Missouri. This is just 100 miles northeast of Kansas City. And we do have some pictures now coming in from the scene. This happened in Mendon, Missouri. This is a passenger train, 243 people on board. There are reports of injuries. Here you're seeing some of the cars turned on their side. An MU hospital, in fact, is just now confirming they are treating three patients at this point from the scene. And Amtrak is confirming that the train was traveling from Los Angeles to Chicago, crashed into a dump truck at a crossing in Mendon, Missouri. And again, here in some of the video, you can see where the passengers have climbed out of these overturned cars. In the background of some of this video, you can actually hear people making phone calls to friends and loved ones to tell them what's happening, to tell them that they're okay. Again, this was headed to Chicago. Amtrak saying it is sending a lot more resources to that scene right now. We are sending News Chopper 9 to the scene. We also have crews there on the ground. We're going to continue to cover this story. We'll bring you any new details right here on KMBC just as soon as we get them.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening. Good night and goodbye.